Part of Stevie Ray Vaughan's signature blues sound is due to his use of heavy gauge strings on his guitar. He played 13 gauge strings. In fact, Stevie at one point was playing 18 gauge strings, but eventually moved back to 13, which for reference, most acoustic guitars use 12 gauge strings. So they were quite thick and tightly strung, especially for electric guitar, which usually incorporates more vigorous bends, which, as we know, was not exactly something Stevie avoided, but actually embraced. As any seasoned guitar player could imagine, playing with strings that thick on your electric guitar would create some next-level calluses on your fingertips, and that is exactly what happened to Stevie. Stevie's guitar tech, Ray Martinez, who was quite legendary among guitar techs as he's worked with Prince, Carlos Santana, John Mayer, and of course Stevie Ray Vaughan. According to Martinez, SRV and Double Trouble were playing lots of shows, and that actually resulted in Stevie tearing the calluses off his fingers and they began to bleed. Because of this, he was starting to have a tough time continuing to play through all the shows he was doing. After a while, Stevie reluctantly agreed with Martinez that he should consider stepping down to a lighter gauge string. They eventually settled on a new set of strings that would keep the tone that the heavier gauge strings provided, but were actually a lighter gauge in order to keep his fingers safe. But before doing all that, Martinez suggested to Stevie Ray Vaughan that they should consider supergluing the tips of his fingers. What he would do is superglue the tip of his finger and press it to some area on the opposite hand to pull off some skin, creating a band-aid type of remedy on the tip of his finger. So essentially, he was creating his own skin grafts off of his other hand in order to temporarily preserve his fretting hand. After a while, he actually started running out of skin to use from his other hand, so he was going to start taking skin from his guitar tech to do the same thing and keep his fretting hand intact. According to Stevie, at the time he basically had a hole in his hand that he continually remedied to carry on. It was at this point where Stevie started to ask for skin from his guitar tech, where his guitar tech realized that they had to kind of put a stop to that and just move down to a lighter gauge of string. And that was the point where they finally made the switch permanently. Which again, Martinez was able to come up with a method that used lighter strings, but also retained the tone that Stevie Ray was able to accomplish with a thicker gauge string. All things considered, SRV doing this is among the most bizarre things to have ever been done by a guitarist. Of course, every guitarist deals with calluses, but few took it to the level that Stevie Ray Vaughan did. It's only fitting for a guitarist like Stevie Ray Vaughan, who seemed to always be pushing the envelope, no matter what it was, also push the envelope on the type of strings he used. A very fitting attribute to his identity as a guitar legend.